Looking out here, I see a lot of familiar faces. And actually, I already knew that. I checked on campus groups. But for those of you that don't know me so well, I guess I'm Neander. I think the main thing about me is I have a pretty international background to myself and my work experience. And I worked in, I think, 10 different countries over the past 4 years. And I'd like to kind of go into that a little bit and why I chose that kind of a life and why I think that's relevant today. So I suppose living in a bunch of different countries, living kind of mobily, it's a challenge. You don't have a base of friends, it's tough to manage relationships, and also sometimes your personal safety is an issue. And I guess I've really kind of like chased that for my whole life, just because I really enjoy kind of understanding people, knowing people, connecting with kind of different people. That's been really at the core of my motivation. I mean, looking at some examples from my past life, I mean, 2 years ago, I was working in India, and just seeing just the challenges every day, just basic transit, and also at the same time seeing just the general colorful and optimistic nature of the people living there was eye-opening. And then 3 months ago, from now, just still 3 months ago, I was working in the Middle East with colleagues from Jordan, from Yemen, with completely different backgrounds to me, and seeing those guys who have completely different views of society, family, etc., but were the most loyal and wonderful people I ever met in my life. And actually where I spent most of my time was in China, and just seeing kind of the rates of change there, the pace of kind of the metro, the pace of the office, the pace of all the change going on, and seeing how kind of different people reacted to that. So I guess, in conclusion, just being someone that's chased this and also has this kind of perspective, I think that is suitable for someone who's going to represent this really wonderful and diverse community. I mean, look at you guys. Really. I can see from here, I know you're looking this way, but wow. And yeah, so going into where we are as a school now, I think the school is great. The tone's been set by the GBA, by just the second years and even the first years. I mean, people have emerged really as leaders already. So I don't think there's really much change to be done there. And you look at the structure of the school, you look at the way the GBA works with the clubs. The GBA is the support for the clubs to serve the student community. I mean, working in a lot of sales organizations around the world, that is when you're at your best. When your guys at the front are being supported by the back of the organization. I see a lot of kind of parallels there. So everything's really good. Looking at my own concerns, too many good events and not enough time. I look at campus groups, I can make maybe 25% of the events I want to make. So instead of like thinking about adding event on event on event, I'd like to look at a few things and try to kind of optimize how we do things, even though things are going very, very well. I mean, you look at Mini 1, Mini 2 recruiting. We have great support structure in terms of the mentor programs, in terms of the COC. Just some more structure there and more clarity there might be better. I even think that if we had an internal database where you could see how everyone in the classes are doing, and if they're like reaching certain milestones for recruiting, we could even come in and support directly and more easily. I mean, another thing is Discover CMU. I think Colleen is here. Yeah? Oh no, Colleen's not here today. Okay. Well, Discover CMU is where I'm quite active. We want to interact with people outside of Tepper, but carving out like a full day to do an event is kind of challenging. So the approach that we've been thinking of taking is just kind of bringing things into the existing framework. And I think I have 5 minutes left. So thank you very much for listening to me and everyone else.